Welcome to Olympian Water Testing, giving you the best in water analysis. Today we're looking at freshwater systems. How can you remove mercury from your water? Now, first, what is mercury? It's one of the most unique metals on Earth, and it's the only metal that is liquid at room temperature. It's extremely slippery to touch. It's also heavy, and 1 tablespoon of the element weighs about 1/2 pound. So definitely this is something you can do weightlifting. However, the unique properties of mercury can also make it hazardous to humans. Mercury in liquid gives off vapors that can easily be inhaled and cause major health issues. It can also find its way into water supplies and cause problems due to long-term exposure, such as getting into water and then mixing with bacteria and becoming methyl mercury, which harms aquatic life in humans. And there are some water filters that can eliminate it, and you can find information on that. So now that we know what mercury is, how does it get into our water? See, most mercury in water sources is the result of atmospheric deposition, the falling of gases and the atmosphere in the rain, snow, or dry particles on Earth. And other sources include industrial waste, mining waste, volcanic activity, and natural deposits. Mercury can also be found in electronic and electrical applications such as fluorescent lights, thermostats, automotive parts, certain batteries, and LCD screens. Certain manufactured products like thermometers in many states no longer contain mercury due to its health threat it possesses. However, the electronic and electrical industries alongside coal-fired power plants are still responsible for most of the mercury found in industrial waste. So the big question is mercury in water dangerous? Mercury is toxic to the body, causes unpleasant side effects at low blood mercury levels, and potentially fatal results at high levels. And mercury is particularly dangerous because it does not need to be directly ingested to poison the body. Rather, mercury poisoning is most commonly caused by inhaling vapors, but can also be absorbed through the skin, and you can also drink it. Now, mercury poisoning occurs to slow long-term exposure due to mercury or rapid high levels of exposure, and the symptoms of mercury poisoning vary due to the age of the exposed person. So this can be how much you're exposed, your health level, and methylmercury is a form of mercury found in shellfish and fish, and is particularly dangerous to infants and children because of the effects on the nervous system and brain. And expecting mothers can expose their unborn infants to high levels of methylmercury when consuming certain kinds of seafood. And well water is also susceptible to high levels of methylmercury. City treated water tested for mercury, but the water in the well may contain dangerous levels of metal. So while methylmercury is most harmful to infants and children, when you're exposed too much, you can have vision loss, lack of coordination, muscle weakness, lung impairment, hearing loss, and cerebral palsy in infants. And also symptoms of the elemental mercury poisoning are mood swings, insomnia, tremors, headaches, reduced mental cognition, and decreased nerve responsiveness. So does tap water contain mercury? To meet the EPA standards for drinking water, the water must contain 0.00 parts per million or 2 parts per billion of mercury. At these levels, the mercury does not pose health threats, even over long-term consumption. Now, does well water contain mercury? Well, most well water contains some level of mercury, but many times the concentration of mercury are below the threshold of danger. However, some states, such as those on the East Coast, are more prone to higher levels of mercury than others, and factors that influence the levels of mercury in water include natural deposits, mining waste, air pollution, industrial waste, and volcanic activity. What are the best water filters for it? There's a lot of different types that can remove mercury. Some are more effective than others, and some are good because they have active carbon filters and water distillers. You can also remove it through reverse osmosis, and that uses at least 3 stages to filter contaminants from water. And the R filtration removes about 95 to 97% of mercury. There's some advantages, like available in whole home configurations, removes all of the other contaminants, ideal for well water, and can be customized to solve your individual needs. The disadvantages are less simple installation, typically more expensive, produces wastewater and filtration, and requires an appropriately sized storage tank. You can also use carbon filters as well as water distillers. Boiling water does not remove mercury, and a big question is, can I bathe in it? If the mercury is too high, you need to avoid using it altogether. So those are the different ways you can remove it. Water distillers that produce extremely pure water, carbon filters that are capable of reducing the level of mercury in the water, and reverse